Dopest dope you've ever smoked. It's part 3. Part 3 of a million. How to be the dopest GM in the history universe. Here we go. We're doing combat immersion. If you can't do combat immersion, don't even do combat. I mean, this sucks. You turn a game, a tabletop game, D&D, Rifts, whatever you play, into Battleship. No one wants to play Battleship. Hit, splash, hit, splash. That's literally what you do when you reduce these games to numbers and rolling dice. Miss, that's a miss. That's a hit, roll damage. That's a miss. What am I watching? What is this? What am I playing? What am I doing? This is super lame. So let's get to how you actually run combat. Your paladin is at the end of your campaign. Your whole party is scattered around this castle. There is mayhem and war happening all over the place. The forces of good or the party or whatever are fighting the forces of the not party, and everybody is killing each other in the courtyard. And at the top of the castle in some tower, your paladin, maybe he's been good, maybe he's been bad, it doesn't matter now, because he's fighting this dude who's got a skull mask and like these giant spiked shoulder pauldrons, and he's like the general for the evil queen straight up out of Willow, and he's just wielding like a giant hammer, and he's been murking everybody with it the entire campaign. And here you are at the climax of it all, and what are you going to do? You're going to say hit, miss, roll damage? What is that? What is this? This is the worst thing that I have ever seen. What you need to do is sell every single moment so people actually remember it. So while there's people screaming down in the courtyard and getting spears shoved through their heart, getting their heads chopped off and their arms chopped off, and it's raining all like Helm's Deep style, and everything is just terrible. And your paladin is fighting this giant ass war chief guy, got nat 20. And the paladin at least knows how to play, he knows what he's got to do, he parries or dodge or whatever, and he rolls terribly. Like, you don't just say hit and then you roll damage. Like, this dude runs up on you and buries this hammer right into your armor, your failing armor, which starts to cave in and literally breaks 3 of your ribs. You go rolling back in a clatter of metal against wet stone and almost fall 45 feet to your death because the dude is such a beast, but instead just manage to stop yourself from sliding all the way off. But he happens to stop just in a perfect position where he can start begging for his life. Then you mention that he took 36 hit points damage. And now the dude comes up on you because you've just completely lost initiative because you're getting your whooped. So instead of being like, hit, instead of doing that, the dude rolls to parry, to dodge, whatever he's got to do, but you've got to be selling these moments with the rain just dripping down his skull mask and coming off of his shoulder pauldrons and his black cape and the whole 9 yards, and thunder and lightning coming down in the background, and everybody's screaming down below, and he raises up the hammer, boom, nat 20, and you describe how the helmet of your grand paladin who's made it from point A to point B in this campaign just gets folded in. He starts coughing up blood, and he can barely, even breathe at this point. His orbital bone is shattered, and he's like at single-digit HP, just fading. This is how you sell these moments. Like, this is just a pathetic recap. This isn't even to the level that you should be doing it in an actual game. So when you're just like hit, miss, roll damage, what are we doing? What are we playing? What are we going to remember here? We're going to remember 5 goobers sitting around a table rolling dice. You don't want that to be the case. You want, like, years from now to remember that such and such literally ended up getting his skull caved in by General Kale in the Helm's Deep castle, and, that's just that. So combat immersion is key. There is literally no reason to just treat it like Battleship. That's why these games are super lame. How many times can we watch GMs fumble through combat, reduce it to Oregon Trail or 1979 video game mechanics? Hit, miss, damage. This is how you play the game like a freaking nerd. RPG is dumb. Like and subscribe. Millions and millions of content. Top-notch content, top-notch GMing. Part 4 of a million coming up next. All right, you're describing die rolls. Like, you don't even need a game master for that. Thanks. It's a 4. It's a hit. How much damage? Literally, a monkey could do your job. That's what's getting delivered. That is what the game master is doing. If you're not doing that, a monkey could do your job.